All being related to shipping. Of course, I will present to you the most famous ocean liner in the world. Welcome to episode 1. Well, as you notice, we're spawned into the Southampton docks. And I have a ticket for second class, but most parts of the ship are accessible throughout the game here. So we'll make our way through the gangway, and of course it's not very much like a modern gangway at all, because there's not really a security detail or anything like that. It's just straight from the train hub to the gangway. Pretty straightforward. And as you see, I made it just in time. That was a close one, but I'm glad we made it on board. And thank you for viewing my video here, and I welcome you on board also. And another great adventure is underway. Welcome on board the RMS Titanic. Welcome to the Grand Staircase. I'll come back through here in just a moment, but for now, I would like to observe the surroundings. There she is, departing Southampton, the Southampton docks, that is. Let's make our way aft. Let me do that thing that I tell my viewers not to do on their real cruises in real life, and that is jump over balconies or railings of any sort. And just as captured in James Cameron's film Titanic, I'm on the aft third class area waving goodbye to Southampton. As did so many passengers that waved goodbye to their family and friends for them unknowingly the last time ever. I was taking a screenshot there of the RMS Titanic. I will use that as my thumbnail for the video. And as I welcome you on my journey here, my adventure, I would like to give the YouTube channel Ocean Liner Designs a shout out. The host of course, Mike Brady. And of course, as we enter Titanic Week, I request that you give him a like and subscribe also, because mainly he will provide for you a live stream. Not a live stream. I mean, it is a live stream, but it will be a accurate time base of the sinking of the RMS Titanic. Of course, on April 14th through the 15th. And take a look at this ship named New York. I notice its towing lines are snapping. Notice it veers dangerously close to Titanic's stern. A deadly collision avoided. But in theory, what if that collision was never avoided? Yes, there would be fatalities, but far less than what is to come. And some would say that was a bad omen, the whole incident. I'll give you a few more exterior shots of the Titanic as we look around before we go to the interiors. You'll notice tugboats assisting the Titanic for departure, because in the early 1900s, such inventions as the bow thrusters and stern thrusters, they weren't invented yet. So we have to implement tugboats, steam-powered tugboats, of course, and also the RMS Titanic is steam-powered, of course, also by coal. You'll notice a fourth iconic funnel does not emit much of a fume. That's due to it being a dummy funnel, but it still functions fully as a ventilation for kitchens and also the first class smoking room. Anyways, we are underway to not quite open sea. We're still in the English Channel, as our next stop will be Cherbourg, France. There goes the Southampton docks disappearing in the shadows. But I welcome you aboard the RMS Titanic, the Royal Mail Steamer Titanic. That same night, Titanic picked up more passengers at French port of Cherbourg and the next day in Queenstown, leaving there 13:30, bound for Queenstown. Not Queenstown, but excuse me. After Cherbourg, France, it made its final destination towards of course, the United States of America. But we all know that never happened. You'll notice the ship has a slight list to port, which is, if you face the front of the ship, port is left side. Easy way to remember that. Port is a 4-letter word, and also the word left is a 4-letter word. And as you notice this list, it's caused by a poor distribution of the weight of the coal down in the bowels of the ship. But it doesn't mean that the ship is damaged in any way, other than a small but contained bunker fire. And I'll give you the iconic James Cameron shot of the Grand Staircase Dome. And as you hear the as you hear the clock ticking, we are making time count. And you, the viewer, I hope you make this episode count and cherish your fond childhood memories of what you remember reading, writing, or watching about the great RMS Titanic. And I want this series to serve as a memorial, of course, to the lives lost, and also as a memory, a rebirth to your childhood memory of the Titanic. As the years go on and the anniversaries continue, we're sort of at a point where you don't really feel the pain of the Titanic anymore, but if you relive the story, that brings it back to life. And that is what we will be doing today. And of course, we can go below deck to purchase items for this game on Roblox, but I'm not interested in that. I have the items that I need right now, which is a Carnival Cruise t-shirt featuring the Carnival Sunrise. I myself have not sailed on the Carnival Sunrise yet, but maybe will one day. but it is not. That ship is not currently on my bucket list, anyways. Of course, this is not by no means a Carnival cruise ship video at all. This is, of course, similar to the SOS United States premiere that I began the channel with. This is a ocean liner series. Now we'll have a few ocean liner series. That's just due to the history of the shipping industry itself. Because without the technology of ocean liners, we would have never came up with the technology of cruising. Anyways, I want to do something iconic and magical before the sun sets. Now, of course, a passenger would not be allowed in the forecastle area whatsoever at modern day times, and also in the early 1900s, 1912 specifically to date here. I want to do something iconic for a second. I want to remind you that this never happened in real life. This is just for the film industry. But as beautiful and iconic as it is, I had to do that for you. And of course, I'm no Jack Dawson, but your support, likes, and subscribes makes me feel like the king of the world. And I appreciate that. Anyways, as it's still daylight, we'll stroll the outdoor deck, specifically the boat deck and the bridge also, as the opportunity presents itself. Well, we'll do that in a minute. Oh, I want to stroll you down go through the bridge. Here's the helm of the RMS Titanic. It's made by the Edinburgh Browns Patent Telemotor Company. As I grab the hold of the helm here, this is a reminder that you can accomplish anything in life as long as you just grab the helm of it. And here you go. We also have the protected bridge house. Due to if, this is an ocean liner, so it goes through the roughest of seas, and waves could potentially crash over the bow onto the bridge. So even in the early years, we have technology to protect the captain. Now this is where I wanted to stroll on the boat deck. The sun is setting. The Titanic sees daylight for the last time. And of course, as a reminder, the timestamp set us forward a few days. Because I wanted to just go ahead and throw the whole story at you for episode 1. I will, of course, show you other things related to the RMS Titanic, but I wanted to introduce you to it, and what more beautiful way to do that than this right here. Let's see if it'll let me do that. There we go. We'll climb on this compass tower. Maybe it'll allow me to get that shot. Yeah, there we go. That's beautiful. The sun sets. As saddening as this next portion will be, I hope it rekindles your childhood imagination of the story of the RMS Titanic. And like me, I hope it grows a childlike fascination of ships for the rest of your life. And you'll see the waters are very relatively calm as we enter a moonless night full of stars. And as the sun sets, we'll go inside for the evening, as it is getting very chilly outside in the North Atlantic Ocean. What better way to introduce you than the grand staircase? Have to do this tour quickly, so bear with me. We'll begin with the first class reading. Well, you can't go in the reading room, but we'll start with the first class lounge, the smoking room, commonly known as. And here's that fireplace that I was mentioning about, the fourth iconic smokestack. These chairs do allow you to sit down. There I am, Lucky Dawg. Well, not in today's episode, of course. Not so Lucky Dawg. But anyways, let's continue. The wood paneling does make it difficult to find the exit, because all these beautiful carvings sort of blend everything together. That's why a lot of passengers, not for that specific reasons, but a lot of passengers opted for second class, as for reasons as it to not being so posh and luxurious, more laid back in a way. For example, in second class, you could dress well, of course, but you wouldn't have to specifically remember all the rules of fine dining and etiquette related to that. You could be a little bit more loose about it and not be judged by some of the richest people in the world at the time. Me personally, I believe I would be a second class passenger for those reasons, and another reason, no offense to third class, but I don't want to dine and feast with rats. And here's our four-piece band. Of course, the audio is not displaying. The audio is not being very good audio, but at least we have the capture of the game. That's something that needs to be fixed, but I'm not too worried about it right now. We'll stroll down to E deck. There's some iconic corridors that you're very familiar with in the movie, the James Cameron Titanic movie. And over here on the other side of E deck is the famous Scotland Road, which, of course, there's no decorations on it. It's just a utilitarian corridor to go for the crew to just have easy access of the bowels of the ship. Let's get upstairs. What's going on? That doesn't sound very good. Ominous music. Maybe we can see something out here? No? Oh boy. Let's run through these corridors. Do we see something? Oh, oh, that sounds desperate. Let's see what that is. I heard a lot of commotion on the bridge. Oh my god, what is that? Oh boy. Wow, look how massive that is. Uh-oh. Crap, I better back up. That's dangerous. That almost landed on my head. Wow. Let's zoom out. Look how massive that iceberg is compared to the ship. And as a reminder, what you see of an iceberg is only 10% of it. 90% is below the surface of the ocean. And that is a scary thought. Like, that almost landed on my head. Unbelievable. Let's get inside, it's cold. Now, I don't believe I have access to specific cabins in this game, but the main public spaces are always available. There's the purser's office. This is, in modern days, this would be sort of like your guest services desk on a cruise ship. And of course, that's the entrance to that office. Let's continue to explore the ship, as you know, while we still can. But in the next few moments, I will just play as a curious passenger exploring the RMS Titanic on a chilly but somewhat calm Sunday evening. Now you'll notice that I am going through a lot of places that a passenger would not be allowed. Let's just say I'm a high-ranking, not a high-ranking passenger, maybe we're married to a crew member or something. Look at this. The Titanic had maps posted of lines posted around the world from the White Star Line. They would show various ships on their lines. Of course, this wasn't a modern TV screen or nothing like that, of course. It would just be made out of sliders, like sort of, you'd have, for example, you'd have my dot right here as a slider, and it would just move along that same line, which, of course, you know, ships don't always follow these accurate lines. It's just a general concept of where they're supposed to be going. And of course, you have the Titanic's line right here. You'll notice there's a lot of, for say, ping pong ball thing going. It looks like ping pong around here, around Great Britain. Excuse me. I have no word for it there, because that's just due to it picking up lots of passengers in various ports before finally heading to New York. Is of course the RMS Titanic. Its role was to bring people to their new lives, but it didn't make it, of course. There's hundreds of other ocean liners that serve the same purpose, but the RMS Titanic, due to its fate, happens to be the most famous of all. Don't think that goes anywhere. Wow, ice has even made it in through those portholes somehow. That's crazy. That's a pretty hard hit. Now we're deep, very deep in the bowels of the ship. Man, these passengers sure are messy. Oh yeah, this game rewards me for not ceasing to exist. So, if you want to check this game out, it's called Titanic SOS. It's on Roblox. I purchased a private server for FPS purposes. And also, the way people dress on Roblox, it's sort of wild and overbearing. That's why I just chose to purchase my private server and just remain as myself. Yeah, this is all you get, just me. Do y'all hear something? I know there's an indoor pool nearby, but I don't know if it's supposed to slosh around that much. F deck. Well, if you hear that, then I guess we are something that begins with that letter. Okay, this sounds pretty ominous down here. Okay, there's the pool. But of course, the pool water is sort of fake. It's built into the ship. Because if that was water as the ship was moving like it does in the game, it would tear the graphics up bad. I guess it's a good call. Some of these doors close automatically if there's water that touches the buoy sensors. For example, you can't see it here, but there'd be buoys attached to the bottom of the bulkhead door rail right there. And if water causes that buoy to rise, some of these doors will shut automatically. So if you're caught in between them, you would be, you know, that. I'm not interested in the Turkish baths. Thank you, though. Okay, here's Scotland Road. You can hear down there, that's the access to the engine room. The different compartments of the engine room. Here, you can hear a lot of steam rolling through that compartment. Especially right there. That's close to a furnace. Of course, the engine room isn't accessible in this specific map, but I'll find a map for you that is and post it somewhere in the series. I don't know what episode it will be. Okay, now I know there's no water, there's no pool around this part of the ship. Oh my god, would you look at that? That doesn't go there. Oh, that's cold. Yeah, I can't stay in there too long. Yeah, that water is very cold, of course. And, yeah. Let's just say, well, this is a survival game, so if you stay in the water too long, you will cease to exist. I will put it that way for YouTube's sensitivity purposes. But I think a good place to start, since I have a pair of keys in my pocket, would be to close the bulkheads. That might be a good thing to do. Wow. There we go. We'll be a good Samaritan and start closing bulkheads. That door slammed shut. Whoa. That area had to render in. Oh man, now I'm stuck down here. Gotta go up one deck to close other bulkheads. Now in the Titanic, for some odd reason, the bulkheads don't go all the way to the top deck. I only went up to E deck. That's due to just poor design. And get this, ships built previous to the Titanic had bulkheads that went to the top deck. But the reason they opted out for the RMS Titanic is to have expansive first-class spaces. So I would rudely state that it was all about the money. Man, that's not good right there. Need to get out of. Need to find Scotland Road, unless it's too late. Okay, that doesn't go anywhere. I'll have to go back in through the grand staircase. That's crew access. There we go. Now check this out. Did you know you could see the top of the grand staircase from the bottom of the ship? Well, not quite, almost. Not the very bottom, but down from E-deck. Oh boy. It might be too late to close the bulkheads. Titanic's funnels begin venting excess steam, resulting in a deafening noise outside. The crew start preparing the lifeboats. Well, let's get on a mad dash to try to get off the ship, because there's obviously water floating in it. Man. Okay, I just get through here. Yeah, but need to close some more bulkheads. Try to, anyways. T-deck. Yeah, I'm on E-deck, of course. Oh, there's some cages down to, not cages, but gates to prevent third class from accessing this corridor and also first class spaces. But of course, you know, in the film they show third class passengers locked below deck as the ship is flooding. But that is a debunked myth. That never actually happened. What really happened was those yeah, you wait for that to close. Okay. What really happened is those gates are only there to prevent illness and sickness from spreading across the ship. But in the case of emergency, those gates are opened by crew members nearby, of course. Because think about this. I mean, yes, we're near 1912, we're nearing World War I, but countries are in general neutral condition currently for 1912. So imagine a well-developed Great Britain or / Northern Ireland doing something inhumane like that. Imagine what kind of reputation that would provide for a nation trying to build itself. And then, well, in this case, a shipping company. Not shipping company, but the White Star Line. Okay, I need to close that, but not get trapped in there. That one will have to remain open because I almost got trapped. I need to go above deck. And the White Star Line is about 100 years old at this point. They were funded in the early to mid 1800s. So of course the Titanic chaos, and down the road the HMHS Britannic tragedy. That pretty much put a nail in the coffin almost to White Star Line. They were able to survive another 30 years until the Great Depression, and that just ultimately ended the White Star Line, and they eventually merged with the modern day Cunard line, which is still a functioning cruise, not, well, sort of a cruise line. They still have the one ocean liner, the one functional ocean liner left in the world that is on my bucket list to sail on across the Atlantic Ocean. Just for the experience of that. It's not something that people get to do every day, and it's so very. It's a very different experience. And of course, the band is up here at the Grand Staircase Dome. You can hear that steam that they were referring to. So let's start removing lifeboats as much as I can help with it. I'm not sure how to do this, because I'm not a crew member, so I was never trained on how to launch a lifeboat. So this might not be good at the end of this, well, I guess we could call it an excursion in a way. It's not really an excursion, but see, I have no idea how to control that. And of course I'm playing on PC, so all it gives me is the letter E for on the keyboard to crank davit. And it opens the crankshaft. And I'm not sure how to make that spin. I might should put that on, yeah. There we go, got my life jacket on, so that'll help with something. Excuse me for a moment while I press random keys to try to figure this out. And don't lay down on the job. This is not looking good. Maybe you can grab the handle. That didn't work. Yeah, I really have no idea how to do that, so if anyone in the comment section could help me out with that, that would be great. But unless there's some way that these launch automatically throughout the progress, it looks like I won't be getting on one. So we'll just have to go with that unless I can figure this out. It's not looking good though. Those are just massive. I mean, look at that. You could easily drive a school bus through that funnel. Well, if it was laying on its side, of course. Well, all I can do is prepare the lifeboats. I don't know how to launch them, so I'll do what I can do. So the chain, there we go. Move the cover. Wait, I just made something move. That was a good noise. I like that. That crankshaft was finally working with me. Well, now what button was it? Is it a mouse button? Come on. Move lid. All right. Not sure. What is that noise? Let's see how bad the, oh wow. We don't have long at all. Wow, okay. There's no way the ship sank that fast in real life. There's just no way. That is astonishing. Okay. Don't, no. I don't know. And of course, I can't pause the game to try to figure that out on Google, because pausing does not stop this ship from sinking. It only pauses my player, not the ship, which is very unfortunate to try to figure something out. And of course, as you know in real life, a bunch of crew are figuring out stuff for the first time too, as this was the first sailing of the Titanic. The man, I can't think of the word right now. How unfortunate, but hang on a second. I can't just leave that with no mentions. Yeah. Okay, my bad. I had a brain fart. This was the Titanic's maiden voyage. So there's plenty of crew members that didn't know what the hell they were doing, to be honest. So, just like me here, I mean, of course, I'm not a crew member. I'm just a average passenger on the Titanic here, wearing my life jacket. But I have gifts and abilities, and I'm trying to use them to the best of my advantage. But as you see, it's not going too well. There's also collapsible lifeboats here. See, they're collapsibles because they're half the size, see, half the height of a full-size functional lifeboat. Let's see. I'm going to pan you out to the Titanic itself while I try to figure something out here. That gives me a gauge of how much time I have to mess around with Google. Alright, I had to dim my studio lighting. It's getting dark out there, so I was having a hard time seeing with all the light being in my computer screen. But I'm going to manage to stay alive. That's good. But if I can't figure this out, that will cease to exist here soon. My avatar will cease to exist. Let's try to save them with Google. Bear with me. Let's see. Well, we take a sip of water while we're around all this water. That boat right there might be my best chance since it's already dangling over the side of the ship. So I'll try to launch that one first. Since Google is not being my friend. Let's just say, let's try this. Hey Google, I want to try to survive the Titanic on Roblox. Can you help me? It's like, haha, just jump off the ship. Well, that wasn't very helpful. But sometime earlier I clicked something that made the crankshaft operate. I don't know what it was though. Maybe I can be a lucky dog and try to figure it out. One more time. If not, the RMS Titanic is going to be our lifeboat for as long as possible. Let's see. Oh boy, what is that? I think that means panic. Ooh. Let's see what. Wow. That is crazy. That's something you don't see every day. I'm very curious, but you know what curiosity did to the cat. Ugh. Might not be meant for me to be on a lifeboat. So, we'll explore the interiors of the ship. Because I know that's where all the juicy content is anyways. Yeah, you know what I'm going to try to do. It's not going to be a very wise decision, but I think we'll go down with the ship in this room right here. Because I cannot, for the life of it, figure out how to operate the lifeboat. I will need more training on it. And, ooh. Oh my god. This is that room where that famous shootout happened when that good old rich dude was chasing Jack down for that part of the ocean necklace. It's metal creaking, and that was some wood there. Wow. Man, too late to be down there. See, I was looking in the corridor. Man, you can see people have panicked and just left stuff behind. Look, that water is cold. You see this fog coming off of it? Like, imagine the coldest shower you've ever took in your life, like the most uncomfortable coldest shower, and multiply that by like 300. If you've ever been to any Titanic museum, they sometimes have this vat of water that's I don't remember what the exact temperature of the water is, but it's the same as the night of the sinking. I could only keep my hand in there for 5 seconds before my hand started hurting. But some people say, well, when you dip your hand in it and keep your hand moving around, it won't hurt as bad. And of course, it's still going to be horribly painful, but moving around takes your mind off of it, I guess. That's the only way it would help you. But we can go in here. I want to get like really deep in the ship while it's still possible. Oh boy, the lights and power's starting to go out. I'm going to try the second class stairwell, see if we can get deeper in the ship. Is this okay, that part of the map's not finished yet. But in real life, that connects to the second class. Well, it's the first class entrance, but there's another stairwell that is part of that. See the first class entrance? There's another miniature grand staircase, but it's not included in this map. But I will have other maps on my series where we give the Titanic a full thorough tour in much calmer settings. But what better way to introduce you to the Titanic than to relive the story? Now in real life, I do not recommend anything that I am doing whatsoever. Go straight to a lifeboat. Even if you are able to do this, you probably will most likely be arrested for not following orders with the cruise line. In a case of emergency. There we go. We'll go and lock that up. That doesn't go anywhere. Alright. That's the best I can do right now, is just close bulkheads and that good stuff. Oh my god. Too late to go down there. Okay. Come on, close up, close up. I've made a boo-boo. It's French for error. Oh no, don't tell me. Oh boy, that was so lucky. That's why they call me Lucky Dog. That doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't go anywhere either. Come on, open. Oh, now you're not going to function. Alright, that's getting dangerous. Very dangerous. But I need to go to the first class entrance. It's getting loud back here. Ah, come on. You'll notice I'm moving very erratically. Oh no! Come on, get up! I'm falling down. Come on, we gotta get to the grand staircase. Come on. Wow. Come on, get in the grand staircase. Oh wow. Okay, I can't stay in the water like that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor sailing with you. Crap. Hang on to something. Ah, shit. Come on, get out of here. Come on. Come on, man. What a horrible fate. even if I made it out of the ship. This is so far underwater that it's far too late. But one last attempt out of desperation. There we go. I will just leave it there. As much as I can. How unfortunate. But anyways, thank you for sailing with me, and as you see, I didn't survive my first round for 2025 Titanic week. Of course, that was very unfortunate, but the Titanic still displays in the menu here, so I will just leave it at that. Turn the volume down. And there she breaks in half. And that really did happen. My avatar is with the bow of the ship plummeting towards the ocean floor. You've got to be kidding. One of those lifeboats fell off the ship. I could have survived on it. But you know what curiosity did to the cat, and that's exactly what happened. As you see, the stern sinks. It never stood up vertically. It was relatively slow sink compared to the James Cameron film, but still horrifying. See, it never stood straight completely up, but from total darkness, that's exactly what you would feel though. And the stern hesitates to give way to the weight of itself. But let me know in the comment section if you want me to do another episode of this Roblox map to see if I could try to survive after I do some research on Google, that is. Because Google could have saved me here, but fortunately that did not happen. But this has been Lucky Dawg Adventures with episode 1 of the Royal Mail Steamer Titanic, and I welcome you to Titanic Week 2025.